Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Influence Me. I'm super happy to be back. With me today, as you guys can see by the title, we got Stephanie in the house. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Good, good.
Sorry for the traffic.
No, it's
You're
okay.
telling me when you got here that you like 2 hours. How long was the traffic?
Like an hour and 40?
An hour. Where are you coming from?
Palmdale.
Palmdale. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from?
No, I grew up in South Central LA.
South Central.
But we recently moved to Palmdale.
Oh, okay.
Ya tenemos like 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, almost going 4 years.
That's
there.
crazy. Yeah, when you told me that you're like gonna be a little late, I was telling you earlier that I was like a little happy because I just got back from the Mexico trip and
Yeah.
I'm just starting to get all my shit together and stuff. But yeah, thank you for being here.
No,
I
thank you for
appreciate
having
you.
me.
I'm excited to talk to you. I actually recorded your episode with Adonais.
Yes.
So
that
I know-
was good. Last year.
Yeah,
It was last year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I know a little bit about you, pero dije no, pues I want to have a conversation with you. I haven't really spoke to you like how we're gonna talk right now, and I'm interested to see like que rollo contigo because I'm a big fan of your TikToks. I told you before.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of pick your brain on like how you get creative with those because I feel that that's going to bring a lot of value to people that are trying to start, in TikTok or in Instagram
Yeah.
and shorts or whatever. So, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First thing that I want to know is that your creative process or the way that you think when you create something, is it like spontaneous or is it just como like you plan things out like, oh, okay, you know what? I saw this video, I'm going to redo it, or do you just come up with shit like automatically?
For TikTok, I feel like whenever I see a funny video, like, I go to my For You page because, dude, I'm like stuck there. Like, I can literally be on TikTok for hours. So whenever I see a funny video, right away, like, I'm like, I could do this. And then I see like how other people do it. And I try to like get a little bit of creativity, like, try to put a little bit more, like, because I see what they do, but I just get a little bit more of like, I could
your
do
style,
it like this. Yeah,
your style, your style. Well, you always been like that comedic type of person, like como
No, I mean, I even with my sisters and everybody, like in my household, I feel like, we fuck around and we like, like I feel like I'm a jokester, but when it came to like TikTok and like that comedy stuff, I never picture myself doing that.
Is it different? Because I see your guys' lives también, or so your guys' YouTube videos that you guys do, and those shits are funny as fuck. So I assume that it's like the same type of comedy. Is it the same or is it like more different?
No, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Even for me, like whenever I film something funny, I just like literally laugh at myself. I was like, dude, I'm so fucking stupid. Like, like just like the thought of like me, creating that. But yeah, I feel like for TikTok, like you just literally like you can do whatever you want and it just come out like, like funny,
Yeah. Talking about TikTok, there's obviously a big growth that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
I want to get to know like how you started seeing that platform benefit your other platforms, if it did.
Yeah.
But what did you start with first? Was it YouTube, Instagram? What was it?
It was Instagram.
It was Instagram. What year was that?
It was, if I'm not mistaken, 2017.
Okay.
2018.
And what got you into that? Like, were you always in like social media?
No, because I was working in the medical field, and then I got pregnant with my second. So yo me quedé en la casa, and then I was literally like going through the postpartum, like process and stuff. And I started watching a lot of YouTubers. Like that's what I would literally watch a lot of makeup videos and a lot of influencers, and I just feel like, I would talk to my sisters and like I would practice, like, dude, when I started, it was literally like, I'm not even joking, like en una cajita que tenía todo mi makeup.
Okay.
And then I went to BeautyCon, I think, and then I bought a ring light. So it was like a little bit that I was slowly getting my stuff together, and I started with very small things, and my sister would tell me, they were like, dude, like you get ready like every single day, just film it.
Yeah.
So I started filming, and then in the beginning I would put like English music, like, those like kind of like authentic, like songs, to like makeup tutorials.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to add a little bit more of like myself, and I started putting like corridos, like really old music.
Like you started being authentic, like yourself.
Like,
okay.
and then, people would see my daughter in the back, and it just like kind of like went, on the
people connected with.
So then I just started doing that, and I saw like how I was growing and growing and growing and growing. And then, TikTok became something 2020 COVID time,
Yeah.
And I just went to that, and it just took me there.
When you first started posting, was there any like part of your brain which is like, fuck, like, because there's a lot of people that want to post, right?
Yeah.
Pero piensan, like, oh, me miro gorda, me miro fea, or me miro
Yeah.
this or that. Like me, for instance, I just got recently my braces fucking taken off. And that was something that I was self-conscious of
Yeah,
for a long
insecure.
time, insecure of for a long time. So did any of that play in your mind before you started uploading, or te valió verga, you're like, fuck, I'm just gonna start uploading?
No, I could relate to that because my teeth were like messed up. Like I would literally laugh when I met Jesse. I would literally laugh like this, like
okay.
you know, like I would always
Yeah.
cover my mouth.
Yeah.
And ended up getting braces, and I feel like that played a huge part because now I was able to smile and to like, you know, because I think if I didn't have my teeth like fixed up, I don't think I would have done social media.
Yeah.
Because of how self-conscious I was
Yeah.
with my teeth, and I feel like that played a huge part in like me creating content because. Truly, I would have not done.
See, that's what's
social
crazy,
media
and
like
that's the
that.
reason why I like doing this because,
Yeah.
for instance, I'm literally like just got them taken out.
Yeah,
And like for you to say that, like that makes sense, and that brings value to a lot of people that
Mm-hmm.
you can relate. A lot of people can relate to that because it is something that it's your smile. Like, that's the first thing
Yeah.
people look at, and that's like fucking, when I was talking to people, I would kind of like not want to like, and that's why I mumble. My girl always tells me like, you always mumble when you talk, or you kind of don't really. So I need to practice that because todavía tengo miedo y no abro muy bien la boca.
Yeah.
So even recently I was at the wedding igual, like they're like, hey, let's take a picture. And I was like,
yeah.
you know, like, I'm like,
Dude, teeth has a huge part in your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like teeth are very, very important, and you know that plays a huge part because, like I told you, like I feel like if I didn't have braces and my teeth were not like fixed up.
yeah.
I don't think I would have done social media, to be honest. And I recently got them, like, I was already older because, you know, as you, like, you know, we're about not the same age, but, you know, we're kind
how old are you? How old are you?
I'm 20. I'll be 29.
Okay,
So
okay.
we're like a few
Okay, yeah,
years apart.
yeah.
And, you know, my mom didn't pay for my braces. You know, like, I feel like as a Hispanic household,
Yeah.
like, that's
We
not...
get them in the tarde.
Yeah, I got them when I was 18, 19.
Okay, yeah, same,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, I mean, I had them already when I was older. And, yeah, like, my teeth played a huge part of, like, me being, like, confident enough
Right.
to, like, be on social media.
Right. I see you post a lot with Jesse.
Yeah.
¿Dónde está Jesse ahorita?
Babysitting.
Babysitting, ya lo traemos allá.
Él quería hijo.
Te miramos en el party de Allen. También estaba babysitting. Let him go out. Just kidding.
No, Jesse's a really homebody dude. I literally tell him, dude, like, you want to go out? Let me know. Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, it'll be selfish for me to like be like, no,
Right.
you can go out.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, but he's not like that.
Nah, he's super
Yeah,
cool. He's super cool.
really
And I can
chill.
tell your daughters también connected with them and
Yeah,
stuff también.
they're daddy's girl.
So how did you two meet?
So it was my friend at that time. She told me, she said, oh, I'm coming down on some 15s. She's like, I have this really cute chambelán de honor, whatever. So I was like, okay, you know, cool, like, you know. But okay, this is gonna sound like I took like try to like get her man, but she already had a man. Okay,
shit.
she was just telling me, she was just like, oh, he's really cute, but she had a man. Okay, let's keep
Yeah,
that clear,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm not like that.
Okay.
So then she's like, oh, because I went to Jeff. It was like high school, and Jesse went to the one behind it. It was kind of like closed, but it was like more private. It was, yeah. So she's like, oh, he's in the back. She's like, we should go, you know, like go walk, right? So then we went, and then she's like, look, es el güerito allá. Like, and she kind of like signaled me. She's like, he's wearing glasses. So when I looked, I was like, oh fuck, he's fucking cute. Like I was like, yeah, he is cute. So then we ended up, you know, walking or whatever, and I added him on MySpace, messaged him, and we just started talking. And then I found out that he lived like a block away from me, and yeah, it just basically went like that. And then
What made you, after obviously you thought he was cute, like what made you, like, because you guys been together for how long?
14 years, going to
14.
14
Like
years,
what
yeah.
made you like him? What like, was it also his personality? Was he a funny guy? Like cómo te conquistó?
One thing that I feel like got me hooked actually is that Jesse was very different from compared to like the kids around my age. He's only like a year and a half older than me.
Okay.
And Jesse was not about the drinking. He was not about the smoking. It was the opposite. Yo era desmadre. I was literally like fucking going to house parties, flyers, like all about that lifestyle. And Jesse was very different.
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like for me and him, like we balance each other out. Because I feel like I'm crazy and he's crazy. Like it was not, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like he's very calm, very chill to a certain extent. Because when you get that side of Jesse, but
Yeah.
it takes a lot for him to be mad. Like he's very like chill.
Yeah.
And I feel like he balanced me out, and that's something that I really, really liked about him. That he wasn't like that. He would just be home playing fucking video games, you know, you know.
You like he cared for himself too. Like he paid attention to himself.
Yeah.
That's cool. What about You mentioned earlier that you had 7 sisters. You guys are 7.
Yeah, 7 in total.
How many kids do you have?
Me, I have 2. Yeah, 3.
So 2. Are you planning to do the 7th también, or like are you gonna follow your mom's like? No, you're like that.
I have 2 girls. Y apenas tuve mi little boy.
Yeah.
He's 3 months. Cumplió 3 months yesterday or the day before yesterday. So I think we're good. I think 3 is good. Maybe 4, but I think 3 is good.
Yeah, because having kids is a little hard, no?
Nowadays, yeah, because Jesse, he has 13. His mom had 13 kids.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and Jesse's the second youngest one. The oldest one, I think, ya tiene 50 something.
Oh,
His older sister. So they're already all like older and stuff.
yeah, it's tough. Even like coming from like a Mexico, like my parents, your parents. I'm pretty sure like I don't know what type of lifestyle did you guys have growing up? Because I mean, having 7 kids is not like
Well, I grew up in South Central. It's not like I would say like on the low.
Okay.
Yeah. Grew up with food stamps and all that stuff, which I'm not ashamed of, because at the end of the day, like, we were struggling. So I feel like when growing up, like my mom and my dad were together and they separated. I think we were already like, they tenía like 10, huh? Like 10, 9. Yeah, I was already older when they separated. So we were actually talking about this when we were on the way over here. When me and my mom and my dad were together, I feel like we would do like family stuff, like family parties and like, stuff like that. And when my mom and my dad separated, my mom was very young. Like my mom is a young mom, I was mentioning to you, like she's a very young mom. She had my sister when she was 14 and she got pregnant, right away with me because me and my sister are only a year apart. And I feel like, my mom was more on her friends. Like she would go out. Like I feel like since she had her kids at a very young age, she never got to like party or be like that, around friends. So when she separated from my dad, she started, becoming like going out with her friends.
She wanted to find her soulmate. She wanted to enjoy her. Yeah. Okay.
So, like that's why I feel like me and my mom's relationship were not close at all because, she would go out and stuff and then I would do my thing and, but,
did that fuck with you like mentally though? Like
I feel like it did played a part on like, growing up because I didn't, obviously I didn't have my parents together. And my mom ended up, going she ended up being with my other sister's dad and obviously having a stepdad coming into, our household, it was different because all I knew was just my dad, and now like, as you get older, you start to realize, like me and Jesse have been together for 14 years. God forbid, I'm no longer with him. You move on.
Yeah.
And that's something that I didn't understand because at the end of the day, my mom moved on. My dad, he moved on. He had his, his own thing going on. And what's crazy is the fact that like, I feel like since I live with my mom and my mom was just, I feel like when she got with my sister's dad, it was kind of like, damn, like you're no longer with my dad, And I didn't get along with my sister's dad. Like we were just kind of like I am the type to like, like say some stuff that I sometimes regret, and back then I had like a really low temper. So we would crash a lot, and I feel like that's because I wanted my mom to be with my dad, but I didn't realize what was going on, the bigger picture,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I said, like God forbid, I'm no longer with Jesse. My girls would probably see what I saw when I was younger, they would be like, why are you with another person knowing that, but at the end of the day, I just feel like in today's society, like I feel like it's very important to talk to your kids because my mom never talk to me, which, at the end of the day, like she didn't have to talk to us, but I feel like as a parent, like I want to be, having that communication with my daughters because my mom never had that with us.
Yeah.
Like like I said, we went through a lot with my mom and my mom never talked to us. I feel like because when I see this, I feel like the reason why someone is the way they are is because of their parents. Because I feel like my mom never had that communication with her mom and it goes like that, like I feel like the reason why someone is like that is because of the way they grew up. You know? My mom didn't have that communication with her mom. So I feel like it was hard for my mom to have that communication with us. Mind you, this was a couple of years ago. My mom never hugged us. She never had that like, I love you kind of thing. We had to literally show my mom how to love us. And it sucks to say, but I don't blame her for it because my grandma never did that with her.
She wasn't raised like that.
She wasn't never like that. Like whenever we'll hug my mom, she'll be like this, like, yeah, hombre, yeah. Like, and I'm like, Mom, come hug me. Like, and it's just crazy because like my mom didn't have that. And now I'm like, damn, like that must, like that must, because my grandma passed away at a very young age. So whenever like my mom cries, she wishes she could have done that same bond with her mom.
Yeah.
And that's something that we had to teach our mom to basically like be more affectionate, and that's why with my daughters, like I have that communication with them and, try to talk to them because I didn't have that, we want the best for our kids, something that we didn't have. We try to do it different with our kids.
Yeah. And that I actually spoke with that about with Zoraida, because there's a lot, even with moms now, with dads, it's otro peo también. Like, like the daughter's not, or the kid is like, no, like that's weird. Like, why are you gonna like, but like if you are like that with your kids at a really young age and show them affection, they're not gonna think it's weird. Maybe obviously when they're older, they're gonna with their kids, their friends, y todo eso. But same thing with our mom. Like I text my mom like I love you, and before it was not like that when we were growing up. And obviously, we grew up in an abusive household, so it was a little different for her. But you're right. Like once you create that bond, it's like, why the fuck didn't we do this like when we were younger, or like our whole life? Like you start thinking, like shit. Like if we would have been doing this, we would have been a lot happier. Sometimes like even misunderstanding, because I'm pretty sure when you were younger, you didn't understand your mom's point of view or why she thought like that or why she was doing the things she was doing. But maybe in her mind, she's like, fuck, I love my kids, pero también I'm like hurting inside and I want to fucking go and get distracted and shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everyone has their own side of their story, and I'm happy that now you guys got to, fix all those things that were missing. Like you're saying, your mom couldn't fix that with her mom, but at least you guys are like super close and stuff. Yeah.
Cause even, doing social media, when I started doing the social media, obviously our parents are old school, and I didn't have that support with, like I haven't talked about this, but I didn't have that support of my parents. Even like, when I started, I would, even do makeup tutorials. So I would be like editing my videos, and I would go to my mom's house and I'm like, hold on, Mom, hold on. And I'm like trying to like post, because I was very like determined. Like today I'm going to post every single day. And, my mom would be like, ay, pinches videos payasos, like I get a regular job, like I had that, with my mom, and it took a lot for her to like actually see, like she went to my first meet and greet and she saw the bigger picture, and she saw, that you can make a living out of this, even for my dad. I mean, my dad is very old school. I'm not really close to my dad like that, but even to this day, he's like, oh, ¿y cuándo vas a agarrar un trabajo? And I'm like, Dad, I am working.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like, he literally is like...
You know who I am?
No, like, yeah, my dad's like, oh, ¿y por qué no agarras un trabajo? And I'm like, Dad, I am working. But it's hard for you to explain to someone like that who doesn't understand,
Yeah.
Because my dad, I feel like he's, to this day, like, we talk and he's like, oh, ¿y cuándo vas a trabajar? I'm like, Dad, like, I'm working. Like, I do social media. Like, this is not easy, but yeah, I just feel like at the end of the day, I'm not gonna, like he's not gonna understand, and my mom now understands, and she sees like what I do and stuff. She comes on my videos. People love my mom because she has no fucking filter. Like she's very like outspoken, very, she's very like open and everything. And I feel like it took a lot for my mom to see like the bigger picture, because in the beginning I didn't have that support. And thankfully, I feel like that didn't like affected me, because if like in my head, I'm like, damn, if I was really weak-minded, I would have been like, you know what? I don't have my parents' support. I'm not going to fucking do this. But I'm very thankful that I had my sisters who, like, fuck that. Like, you don't got to explain yourself. Like, you come on, keep going. Cause I see this, I see this in you,
So your sisters supported
my
you?
100% biggest supporters. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I was going to tell you. Like sometimes going through shit at a young age, like traumas like that of separations, parent separation, domestic abuse, all that stuff sometimes, or even being fucking broke and when you're young, sometimes that creates this fucking strong mindset that kind of lets you filter out. Of course, there's days that you feel less or fucking bad or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like you're saying, you have that determination. Is that from those moments of like not having like, does that come to your mind? It's like, shit, I didn't have this when I was growing up. I didn't have this when I was like, I didn't have this. I didn't have that. So did that kind of play a role of like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I get mine for my kids. I'm going to make sure that I do this every single day. Was that some sort of motivation for you?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Because I feel like, growing up, I got my first phone at 15 years old, and it was a Metro PCS. Like it was like one of those like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know, like I didn't think I had like a freaking camera. And now, like, little kids having phones at like, freaking 5, 6 years old, you know. Obviously it's a good thing and a bad thing, because we try to give everything to our kids, but at the same time, I'm very thankful the way I grew up, because it made me who I am today. You know, I don't want to give too much to my kids, but at the same time, I don't want them to struggle the way I struggled, with, not having food in the house, like not being able to like, oh, what the fuck are we going to eat? When I was younger, I got cholesterol, because of how much junk I would eat. Like I would eat chips just to get me full. I would, tortillas after tortillas, and it was just like the not eating healthy and not having my mom too much being in the house. So we had to like obviously raise ourselves. And yeah, like I just feel like at the end of the day, like I want the best for my kids. And that's something that I'm like very motivated, because I told Jesse, I'm like, dude, trust me. Like I feel like I'm there, but not there yet, like I feel like I haven't hit that, like where I'm like, damn, I'm making it.
Your peak.
Yeah, my peak. I haven't, gotten that yet, but I'm not giving up. I feel like I just tell him like, babe, trust me, this is only the beginning. Like I see ourselves, getting somewhere. One of my biggest motivations, and I would say it publicly, is Alondra and Elsie. They grew up where we grew up. They grew up in HP and Downey, Zoraida, like someone that literally lives in the hood and like is making it. That's someone that I really look up to, because they grew up where we grew up, and it's kind of like, that's motivation for me to be like, damn, like, they can do it. They can do it, we can do it too, so I was telling my sister, like, we recently moved to Palmdale, like, ya tenemos cuatro años right there. I would always tell Jesse, because, we live with his mom and his dad. And, we lived in, one bedroom. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, like, my suegra had another room where my girls would sleep. But I wanted my own privacy. I wanted us to, like, like, move out. And I would tell Jesse, like, come on, babe, let's go rent somewhere, Like, I would tell him. And his mentality was always, like, if we're going to move out, we're going to move out to a house. I'm gonna buy my own house, right? Wow. My mentality was like, okay, well, we're never gonna move out. Like, we can't buy a freaking house, And at that age, I was probably like 23, and I was like, dude, we're not gonna buy a house, right? Point is, long story short, Jesse ended up buying his house in Palmdale, and I was like excited. I was literally like, I wasn't seeing like the bigger picture. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna get our own house. Our kids are gonna have their own space. And little did I know that I was moving away from my family. I'm a very family oriented person, as you guys can see. Like me and my sister are like close, and I didn't realize that I was moving away from them, and I feel like that hit me pretty hard. I almost went to depression, because I would cry, and I'm like, I told Jesse would tell me, he's like, babe, you begged me for this. Why is it that you don't want this anymore? And I'm like, it's because I feel like it was impulsively like, yes, let's move out, but I didn't see that I was moving away. Every single day, dude, I would literally go to my mom's house. Like, I would be like, oh, I'm going to my mom's house. Like, I literally was, always with my family, and like moving away from them really hit me into almost falling into depression. I would beg my sister, like, please move in with me, or my mom, like, and I had to understand that, like, just because I moved doesn't mean that they have to do the move too, because it's a huge move, and I almost went into depression, and I would tell my sisters, like, I'm not motivated anymore, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't even know what I want to do. Like, do I want to go back to the medical field? I almost like gave up. I'm like, I can't be doing this. Like, I feel alone. And for all you stay-home moms, trust me, I feel you, because being at home is not easy, dude. Like, being at home 24/7 with your kid, like, that, going to pick them up, coming back, and not being social with people. I told Jesse, I'm like, bro, like, you have coworkers that you talk to. I don't talk to no one. Yes, I talk to my sisters, but it's not the same as socializing. I didn't feel like I didn't have that anymore, Yeah. And last year, barely, my sister, moved in with me, and I feel like it's gotten better. But yeah, dude, being a stay-home mom is not that easy. And I feel like this is a conflict that people can go back and forth, because people would see like, you stay home. What is it that you're complaining about?
Yeah, you should be grateful. You should be like, the shit.
And I am grateful, dude.
Yeah.
I am grateful because at the end of the day, like, I see how my sister has to go to work and she doesn't spend that, gets to pick up and drop off her kids, something that I am able to do, But
it comes with this challenges too. Like
for sure.
Same thing with my kids. I mean, I'm able to pick them up and drop them off, but it still comes with like for me, like now going away to Mexico or going to like to trips or going like I start feeling that like, oh fuck, I'm like really close to them now. Like so it's like I don't want to be too far away from them. But even like not like my girl, I mean, she just stay at home, and I tell her like keep yourself occupied or do something. Like I would want you to follow a career, or do like go out with your sisters, like do something that way you can kind of keep, because we do see that, there is stay-at-home moms that sometimes they like it. I mean, they're like, personas que sí les gusta, like, hey, fuck that.
And there's also, I've seen a lot of TikToks. There's also moms that have tried to be a stay-at-home mom and they can fucking do it.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, I'd rather be.
They think it's easy, and then they're like, nah, I'd rather just go back to work.
Let me just go back to work. I get to have my hour lunch, know, like, and like I just feel like it's a conflict that like a lot of people can relate and a lot of people can't relate. Even with COVID, a lot of people stayed home. They were forced to stay home. People were getting divorced, going crazy being at home. And can you just imagine, like, obviously being home and like, I feel like, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, because I am very grateful to be doing this. But, having to do social media, having to be a stay-home mom, and, like even a wife, like having to like think about like what's going to be for dinner, what's, like everything in general. It could be overwhelming. It is a lot, but I'm very grateful to be doing this, because
and I'm going to say this here. It is hard, especially I see your consistency.
Yeah.
I fucking see that, and I'm trying to be consistent with my shit, and it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
You have to literally be creative and authentic, which is something that you are.
Yeah.
You don't fake your shit. You're really that type of person. So it's not like if you just have a fucking list in the bedroom, like, okay, today I'm just going to do this. No, like, it's like you literally have to come up with that. Apart from that, you still have to be a mom. Apart from that, you have to be a wife. Apart from that, you have to be a sister. Apart from that, you have to be a daughter. Apart from that, you still have to do like the home stuff, the washing. Like, it's just so much shit. Like, how do you balance your day? How do you wake up in the morning and you're like, fuck, like, here we go again?
Yeah. I would say it's kind of like not, because I can overthink, right? And I can get overwhelmed fast because I want to do everything in one fucking day, dude. I'm not lying to you, where I want to clean the whole fucking house, like literally flip that shit like in a day, and I get so overwhelmed, dude. And then the kids are crying, they're fighting, and I take care of my sister's kids, right? So we have my 2 daughters, and then we have my 2 nephews who are all small, constantly fighting, constantly screaming and all that. And I'm just like, bro, like it could be a lot. It could be overwhelming. But I feel like at the end of the day, I just push through it, because at the end of the day, I can't sit around and cry and like be like, okay, I'm not going to do anything. Because that makes it worse, dude. If you just stay home and not do anything, and something that motivates me is the house being clean. If I know that can get me in a good mood, that's what I do. I make sure that everything is clean, and I try to keep my workspace, because that's basically my workspace, my home, clean and like for fresh. And that makes me like, wanting to do stuff and wanting to like get ready. I barely, had my baby. I had a C-section, my first C-section ever. I couldn't do anything, dude. I feel like I was going into postpartum depression, because I'm very used to like doing stuff by myself. I don't ask for help, and if I ask for help, it's because I really, really need it. Because I'm the type of like, no, let me do it. Because if you do it and you do it wrong, it's gonna piss me off. Let me freaking do it. Like I have my ways on doing stuff, and like I would cry to Jesse, and I'm like, bro, like I'm trying to like get stuff done, but hey, you got cut open.
How long is the recovery?
It could take about a month for C-section. Yeah. Okay. 2 weeks to like kind of like get by, but it takes a while. Even, like I have to remind myself, like, bro, like I'm barely recovering, but that, played a huge part on like having a C-section. And I feel like that was God's way of like, slow down.
You need a break.
Because that literally like kind of got me like, damn, like I feel like I was worthless. Like I feel like I couldn't help Jesse, and I would apologize to him. I'm like, babe, I'm sorry. But in my head, I'm like, why am I sorry? Why do I have to apologize when I just had our baby?
Yeah.
You know, but it just felt like I was putting the pressure on Jesse on doing everything. And I'm like, damn, like I feel like I couldn't do anything, you know? And I just feel like that was a wake up call. Like, bro, you need to slow down. You need to take it easy day by day. You know, I wanted to clean. Yeah, when I was already in the house, I wanted everything to be clean, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that I had my sister there who, you know, was making dinner, who was in charge of that. Jesse was there to help me with the kids and everything. So yeah.
How is that mentally? Like, do you feel that, and this is something that maybe it's an advice for me, because obviously, as you can see, like I'm trying to get into the space. I'm trying to get into the YouTube space. I'm trying to do the Instagram and TikToks. Having a family and enjoying those moments, but then having to capture those moments. How do you balance? How would you recommend me balancing that? Because I feel that there's times, like for instance today, I don't know if you saw my post that I took my daughter. She wanted a garden shit for her thing. So it's like I recorded that, right? But it's like, do I record every single moment? How do you balance that in terms of like cherishing those moments of with your kids and your husband or your man?
One thing that I would say is like, you don't see it work wise. See it as like memories, because I started YouTube 3 years ago, right? And when I was, you know, recovering from my C-section, I will go back to my videos and I'm like, oh my God, like my daughters were so small. And now like you see it as like, you're not capturing content, you're capturing memories. That's how you got to see it as, like, one day you're going to look back at this, you know? And even my daughters were actually getting, you know, we're getting older. We're going to get even older. You would want them to see, you know, the memories of you guys being together, you know? Like, I don't see it as like creating content. I see it as more as like memories, because that's something that's always going to be there, something that you can always look back at and see how, you know, like how your kids are growing up, how you as a person are growing up as well. You know, our mentality gets, you know, like every single day changes. We're not the same as 2-3 years ago, you know, like it's just, I just feel like you just got to make sure that, you know, you're just creating memories and something that you can look back at, you know? And
then talking about the social media, when was it, was there a particular video that you saw, or was there any moment that you knew, like, because you said you worked in a medical field?
Yeah.
What made you quit that job? Like, what was it like? What encouraged you to do that?
I think I went through the medical field, like that route, because I was covering for my sister-in-law who she was going on maternity leave. So she kind of like, I had no experience. So she kind of like taught me how to be front office.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, I enjoyed doing that. So let me go into the medical field. I went to UEI and, you know, I ended up getting a job, whatever. And once, like I said, once I gave birth, I was, you know, watching YouTube videos and watching influencers do makeup. And, you know, I started learning as it goes. Like, if you guys have been following me for a while, my eyebrows were like thick, bro, like thick, like really like dark, like it was bad. And I would get so many hate comments like, girl, you need to tone it down on those eyebrows. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, my eyebrows are good. No, they weren't, you know? And I just feel like when I was doing makeup, I just feel like I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed doing, you know, front office. Because I enjoyed doing front office and doing that medical field, but I enjoyed doing content more, you know, making people laugh, you know, like I feel like that's something that I really enjoy, like making people laugh, you know, relating to other people. And yeah, that's how I feel like.
And how are your fans, the people that follow you? I saw in a previous episode that you did with Adonais that there's one what do you call it, the fucking meet and greets, the meet and greets that no one showed up. I was at the third one.
I
was at the third one. That's the one in South Coast Plaza. And I was literally there when that happened. So when you were talking to Alan about it, I was like, oh shit, like that's why you were crying, because I tripped out too. When you walked in and you saw everyone, I was like, oh shit, like that's crazy.
Like, why is she crying, bro?
No, I was like, damn, like, because there was a lot of people, and I had met you previously.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, actually, fun fact, I didn't even know you were gonna be there. They told me to like go shoot an event, and then when I was like, oh shit, I saw your picture on the
flyer.
Billboard. Yeah, on the flyer, and I was like, oh shit, that's cool. Like, she's gonna be here. So when you came and you started crying, I was like, damn, that's crazy. How did that moment feel?
It honestly breathtaking. breathtaking. Even like when girls like have met me in person, like how like seeing their face. I remember nunca se me va a olvidar. We went to Walmart and this girl, she was like Stephanie, but like her face was like I was like, yes, like just, you know, and she was like, oh my God. And she starts crying. And I'm like, I looked at Jessie like, oh my God, you know, like I impacted this person, you know, and she was, you know, telling me like that she loves me. And then I went home and I told Jessie, I'm like, because obviously you know, I'm a regular person, you know, but when people meet me and like the excitement that they see and like, you know, for them to like meet me, like, dude, it's just something that I will forever cherish, you know? Like, I don't see the impact that I can do in others. When I was doing social media, I would get a lot of DMs of moms saying like, hey, you're motivating me to get ready, because if I can see you getting ready while having a daughter in the back, you know, that's like something that it motivates me to even get ready. Like right now, I'm going through a journey of like losing weight, you know? Like obviously when you give birth, your body changes, you know? I mean, C-section is way different from like natural, because you know obviously like your scar and like you seeing your scar, and you know it's just very different. And that's something that like right now like I'm trying to work out, trying to, you know, get my body back to where it was. And it's hard, dude. It's hard because, you know, you got to manage, like I said, being a mom, and, you know, but I'm very thankful that Jessie's right there whenever I'm like, babe, I'm going to go work out. Let me do what I got to do. It gets my mind out of things and just working on myself and feeling confident, you know, because that's something that like we all like, you know, we want to do is feel confident. And right now, like, I feel like I have to think about it. Dude, you just gave birth. You're not going to snap back to life,
sometimes
you know?
you're really hard on yourself.
Yeah,
especially
you are.
because you said like you're a perfectionist, where it's like you don't want other people to do it. You want to make sure that you do it. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that like you being that kind of así como perfectionist? Like, were you always like that when you were like growing up?
I've always been like a clean freak. I've always been like that. I mean, like me desespera, like even seeing a mess, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's my happy place. So whenever I see everything clean, it gets me in a better mood, and everything's just, you know, like. And then I even for my daughters, like right now, I'm like, if you can manage to be on your phone or tablet, you can manage to go and throw the trash, or like, you know, trying to help them on helping out the, you know, the house, and like, you know, like just having that, like, because I feel like if the way you work is what it reflects you. Like if you have a mess, obviously that's gonna, you know, like that's not gonna be good for you, you know? So I just try to like keep everything organized, and which at the end of the day, you can't, because there's going to be bad days. There's going to be days where, you know, you really don't feel motivated, you know? But at the end of the day, I just feel like you just got to think about it. You got to do it. And you know?
What do you think about kids right now? Like I usually, like right now, like with my kids, it's like, we went through so much shit, right? And like you talked about it earlier, that with that, we try to give them everything that we possibly can. Well, that we can afford, that we didn't have. But sometimes I feel that kind of makes them a little weak in a way. Not weak, but like kind of like they don't understand like how hard it was for us. I started learning this word where it's like people say that they're spoiled. Yeah. And I really don't think that they're spoiled. I think that they're living in a different time than we were. Because if you think about our parents, like their generation would say that we're spoiled. That's how we grew up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you keep on going, it's just going to keep on going. Yeah. So it's like, do you think we should keep on using that word like spoiled? Like, fucking, these kids are spoiled. Like they have a lot of shit. Like I want to remove them from places that I grew up in, because I want them to live in a better place where it's like, okay, pero también me estoy dando cuenta que si les digo, hey, cabrones, vayan y saquen la basura, they're like, but it's fucking dark outside. Like, it's like, bro, like, what do you mean? Why do you think that is? Like, how can we change that? Because that's a balance that I'm trying to figure out. It's like,
it is hard.
Be tough, but we don't put them in a tough position.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just telling my sister when we were on the way over here, we're talking about like stories and stuff, how, dude, I would literally take the bus by myself, you know? And now tell me if I go to the bus by myself. Like, I feel like as I grew older, I'm like more of a freaking scary cat. Like back then I would literally walk to freaking parties, you know, like I would be, you know, doing whatever. Now I feel like I don't know. I think it has to do with social media. Yeah. You know, the fact that I've seen so many videos but all those like violence has always been there.
Yeah.
But now I feel like that people see it. Obviously, you see it and you get scared. You know, everything that you hear, everything. You know, like it's just scary. It's scary. But I feel like spoiled. I wouldn't. I don't know. That's a hard one because I mean I wouldn't say like spoiled, but how? What's another word you can?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, if you want to toughen them up, how can you if you don't put them in that situation?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like, how are you with them? Like, are you like really overprotected? Like well, obviously, how old is your oldest?
My oldest she's gonna be 9.
She's gonna be 9. So do you think you're gonna be the type of person like she tells you, hey, can we go with my friends to Dave and Buster's? Can we go to my friends over here to Knott's and stuff when she's like 14, 15 years old? Like, do you think because there's a lot of kids out there like going out right now too. Like, like, do you think you'll have that like freeness with them? Like how you had that
One
freeness?
thing that I can say that my sisters always tell me is that like I don't listen. I need to work on that. And then they tell me, because even my sisters do, sometimes they're afraid to tell me stuff because I don't have filter. I'll literally say how I like, you know, the way it comes out. I could be very hard. Even my sister that lives with me, I motivate her, but I motivate her in a rough way. Kind of like, bro, get your shit together. Like, what are you know, like kind of like that. Like, that, like direct like that, you know? And intense. Even, everybody, dude, all my sisters and brothers are all scared of me because of the way that I am. Like, I'm very like outspoken, like, you know, like
you talk with passion.
Yeah, mi carácter lo tengo bien fuerte. And even my sisters told me, dude, you gotta change that because guess what? There's your daughter. You think she's gonna be open with you if we can even be open with you? And I think about it, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I would want my daughter to come to me and tell me, you know, whatever it is, instead of her going to her friends or going somewhere else where she, you know, she can be heard. You get me? I try to, you know, not to be too tough on her, but I feel like the way I grew up, it got me there to where I don't want that for her, dude. I'm gonna, you know, say it. I have a daughter, right? Tengo dos niñas. I don't even let them, like, I feel uncomfortable them wearing shorts around, you know, in public. It gets me frustrated. Like, and I'm like, Ali, like, close your legs. And like, it's just the way I come out as, and I have to think about it. No, I have to explain to her, not just tell her. My neighbor, when, you know, growing up, we used to have this neighbor, and in a very young age, he showed me his thing, you know, and I was very young. I didn't understand what was going on, but I was exposed to that at a very young age. My mom didn't know. It was a freaking neighbor, you know. I never told my mom because I was afraid. I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have that connection with my mom. And now I make sure that I always talk to my kids, hey, this and this and this, you know, even if like a little pat, like, hi, you know, like nothing like that, you know, like I always make sure to be very open with them, because at the end of the day, if you don't have that communication with your kids, they're gonna think it's very normal. You know, even like, you know, little touchy, like I told her, like, everybody keeps their hands to yourself. No one's supposed to be touching you. Not even like, oh, nothing, like, you know, if someone makes you feel uncomfortable, you make sure that you tell me. You know, I always talk to my girls, because I just feel like we live in a very scary world, and I feel like it's getting even worse. You know, but all we can do, I mean, I cannot keep them locked up. I wish that I can, to be honest, you know. But it's just, I feel like as today's society, you just got to be more open with them and have that communication with them, you know, because I told my mom years, we weren't even in the house anymore. And she told me, she's like, why didn't you never told me anything? And I'm like, Mom, it's because I don't know how to tell you. Like, my mom never talked to me about this stuff. And I don't blame her for it, because like I said, she didn't have that communication with her mom, you know? I feel like that's why I'm very, very overprotective. But I feel like I just need to, like, not like, not, how you say it? Like, come out as in like not too rough, and just, you know, explain. I have the same fucking problem. I'm telling you, I have the same. Everyone tells me too, like, you're too fucking direct. The way that you say things, you have to be more compassionate, or you have more sympathy for how you say the things, like, and watch how you're gonna make other people feel, because obviously we're coming at it from like, we want to fucking help you, like, get your shit together, you know, but it's like they don't take it like that. They're taking it like, well, why? Maybe, I don't know your family, right? But like, when I talk to people, they sometimes feel that I'm like, feel superior to them. And it's like, if I'm telling you, if you're asking me for advice, and I'm giving it to you, it's because
I've been through certain things and I'm trying to protect you from that. Or sometimes I don't even ask me. I'll tell them like, hey bro, don't go that route because this shit might happen.
Exactly.
You know,
and you do it like out of your own kindness. Like, you know,
but like you're saying, we do have to work on, and I'm saying I'm the same. We do have to work on how we say things because everyone has a different character. Maybe one of your sisters could relate to like who you are and like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm tough too. Like fuck that. Like tell them how it is. Fuck it, tough love shit. But then someone else could be more sentimental and like les duele más and shit. You know, and usually it's the younger ones that start feeling a little bit more como like they cry and shit easily and shit, you know? Pero no, yeah, like I 100% agree with that. Like we both need to work on that. So.
Yeah, because they tell me like, dude, I can't even tell you anything because you just like, you know, right away. And I do like snap and like say everything, and then next thing you know, like I calm down and then like that. But it just I just gotta work on like not like too much, like you know, because let's say my daughter tells me, Mom, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm you know this little kid, and I'm like, you know, and then next thing you know, you think she's gonna go ahead and trust me on other things. She's not, you know, and that's something that like I need to really, really work on if I do want to have that communication with my daughter, because at the end of the day, she's 8 y luego sigue la otra y luego sigue, you know, my son, you know, and it's just it starts from the very oldest one, because guess what, the oldest one sees it, and if I have that communication with my oldest one, the other one is gonna be comfortable enough to be like, okay, I can talk to mommy, you know. But I just really got to work on that. It's hard, you know, it's hard because like it's just like my blood starts boiling and I'm just like, you know, but I'm just like, just chill, take it easy, and you know,
we'll take it day by day.
Literally take it day by day. Yeah.
What do you got planned now? Because there's like, you're saying you haven't hit your peak, or you feel that you haven't hit your peak. What do you think you are like looking forward to in these upcoming years?
Something that I feel like I'm gonna continue to, obviously, like I'm growing my TikTok, and you know, one thing that I feel like I want to hit this year is hit 1 million on TikTok. You know, that's gonna be a big accomplishment, because TikTok, it was kind of like, I'm gonna do it for fun, you know, like it was something. Well, I still do it for fun. Like creating content is fun for me. Like I just, you know, look back and I'm like, oh my god, you know, like hilarious and like comedy and all that stuff. One thing that I do want to work on, being more consistent, is, you know, doing the YouTube. I feel like I've been doing YouTube for so long that I haven't, you know, been growing on YouTube. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I told you, we had this conversation on my baby shower. It's like, if you're consistent, there's no way you're not growing. You know, like if I'm not growing on YouTube, that's because I'm not consistent. And one thing that I literally tell everybody, I was posting every single day, and that's where, you know, I saw the growth. And if you're consistent, obviously there's no way you can be growing. And one thing that, you know, I hope this year is to be more consistent on YouTube, to be more open. That's something that I really want to be more open. I know that I'm very like you know, I overthink a lot, and I'm like, no, like I shouldn't overthink, because I feel like a lot of people can relate, you know. Sometimes I'm afraid of what I'm going to say, or what I'm, you know, because at the end of the day, today's society is like, you get canceled for any little thing, you know. You say something and then you're like, oh yeah, she's canceled, you know. I just want to obviously be a little bit more open. YouTube, it's hard, you know. People that you do YouTube full time, I got to give you guys props, because, you know, like, yes, it's about recording, but it's about obviously thinking about, you know, ideas and like, you know, just stuff like that. But I just want to dedicate on YouTube this year, and hopefully, you know, like primero Dios, hit, you know, hit my marks.
What were you at right now on TikTok?
Right now I'm at almost 700K.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
damn, that platform. On Instagram
I'm at 200K.
Yeah, so TikTok, you're fucking taking off on TikTok.
Yeah.
And you started your Instagram first, obviously. Yeah. What is it about TikTok that you like more? Or it's not that you like more, but that you appreciate from that platform?
I feel like it's very easy. Very like the content that I create is not coming from me. Like people that create content like that talk on TikTok, I mean, that's different. But I feel like for me, I'm a little shy to talk on TikTok. I do more on the skit side, and I feel like that's very fun for me. Like very like fast and like something very easy. As of YouTube, obviously you gotta talk, you gotta be more open, you know, like
it's hard to be entertaining like that.
Yeah. I feel like for TikTok, a little 30-second video, you know, something that people like comedy moms that can relate and all that stuff, it's very easy for me. As of YouTube, you know, obviously like you talk and like you're a little bit more open. People see like you know.
When you saw your first like big video on TikTok, how was that? Like did you realize like, oh shit, there's like a fucking opportunity here? How was that?
Yeah. I like I said in the beginning of COVID, it was just, you know, like obviously we were all home, you know, creating, you know, like creating content, and I started seeing that I was growing faster than Instagram, you know, like and I started seeing like, oh shit, like I'm about to hit 100K, like what? Like I've been doing it for months. With Instagram, it was a long time, and you know, like and I saw how like fast I was growing on TikTok. I think my most viewed video I think is 13 million. Yeah. And that was with my daughter, and that video that we did with her. And I feel like it was like, I don't know, it just like seeing like the views, I'm like, damn, that's crazy, like how much people can relate, you know. And I feel like the mom content, a lot of people can relate on that, you know. And like, I mean, I get those moms that are like, why are you teaching your daughter, you know, all this stuff? And I'm like, dude, it's all like, it's all about fun. Like, you know, like people like take it so freaking very serious. And I'm like, dude, it's just, you know, like it's not that serious. Like I do videos where one of the videos that I just posted on like me telling my sister to be like a hoe, right? I'm like, bro, like it's just a joke. I'm not gonna be like, sis, go be a hoe, you know? I'm like, bro, it's you know, but at the end of the day, like people are not gonna understand, you know? But it's just like I feel like people take social media very serious. I'm like, bro, it's just funny. Like, haha, you don't like it, scroll. Like, you know, like.
My favorite video from you guys is that I don't even know what it's called, but it's like when you're saying someone here hasn't brushed their fucking mouth or some shit like that, and then someone else says like, oh, someone here fucking doesn't like this or doesn't like that.
Like with my sisters. Alguien de aquí.
Yeah, that shit was fucking funny as fuck. Because I see those videos, and sometimes I've seen other videos where like they'll start fucking getting serious. And I know some of them are fucking skits.
Yeah.
But there's some of them that are fucking like for real. They're like, oh, you motherfucker, I'm gonna start going at you now. That shit was funny. Like, I think you guys should do a fucking little reality shit on YouTube. Like, I think that shit would do well. I honestly do see it. That's what I was gonna tell you. I think you guys should do a reality thing.
One thing también, hopefully, I wanna start a podcast with her. Me and her, I feel like we can talk for fucking hours. Like,
take over.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I love watching podcasts. I love watching your podcast, Myron Karina's podcast, you know, Seva's podcast. I feel like that's a thing now, and I enjoy it because it's very raw, you get to see other points of views,
perspectives.
Yeah, and I love podcasts, and I was like, dude, like, I feel like that's something that I really want to work on, you know, trying to, you know, do a podcast with her, because I feel like it would do very good. But I mean,
I'm gonna tell you something about podcasting. If you're gonna do it, like, do it today, because podcasting is not like YouTube. It's like you grab a camera, right? You turn it on, you start vlogging, and if you want to upload, you'll end up uploading. But when it comes down to podcasting, when I noticed right now, it's like I recently uploaded, like, if anyone needed help, because I have 2 spots available. Well, not no more. Is that a lot of people, once they start seeing like, oh fuck, I need to have cameras, I need to have mics, I need to have lighting, they start getting overwhelmed, and they start delaying. There's so many influencers that hit me up for podcasting that have not started yet because of that overwhelming of like, shit, just start it. Sit down. If you want to if you have an idea or a scene or whatever, just shoot it and do like a couple. That way you can get the ball rolling, because you know, it's gonna stop you from not doing that. But do it like next week.
How do you see like this podcast? Like, is it like hard for you, or like you feel like it's like more?
It's the easiest thing that I can do.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm just having conversations with people, and I really want to know what the fuck you've been through. You know what I mean? And I think that you and her having a podcast, you guys can talk about your experiences of what you guys been through.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And there's going to be so many people that can relate to that. Look, it stresses me out right now is that I don't have a fucking second person where I can just be like, hey bro, every week let's upload. That's the reason why I'm not consistent right now, because it's like, I want to make sure that the people that I have are the people that I want to have. That it's not just like, hey bro, I need someone for fucking next week. No. I want you to be here because I really want to get to know you. So if I don't upload every week, it's because
you don't have.
I'm not like, and sometimes the scheduling of people, like it's not on time, so it's not like together. So yeah, I definitely think you guys should do that like tomorrow and shit. You know.
that's something that we really want to do. And primero Dios, I know that if we do it, I know we're gonna.
No,
be
when you do it, when you do it,
we're gonna be very like it's. I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good.
Well, thank you for being here.
No,
I appreciate
having
this
me.
conversation.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward for the podcast. We're gonna leave her links down below to that YouTube channel or that Spotify podcast right here down. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna hold you to that. También este King Ed, también vino aquí King Ed, and he's like, "Oh, I want to do YouTuber." I was like, "I'm gonna leave your link down below." Apenas like 2 months ago he uploaded, or a month ago he uploaded his first YouTube video. So I'm gonna hold you guys to that. So I better see that podcast.
Thank you.
But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It was good getting to know you at a deeper level. Like I tell everyone, like I try to have conversations with you at events.
Yeah,
But like even that day of your baby shower, like you're like, where the fuck is the ice? Where the fuck is this? Where's that? So it's like I don't want to bug her right now.
And that's crazy because you've seen me like on my wildest, and then you see me pregnant. And then
Yeah. It's been a journey. Well, thank you for being here.
For having me.
That was it for today's episode, guys. I'm gonna leave all her links down below. Make sure you guys go follow her Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere she's at. I'm gonna leave all her links down below. Thank you for being here. That was it. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.